entering a brand new era. Things are not quite so old school. There's tons of exclusive content, should be pretty cool. 24 full years of questing, makes our devs we're doing great. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2008. Welcome back to September 29th, 2008. Once again, we have done penguins and circus. Got some new pants, which we're just going to destroy, because that's fine. We can always get those back. And a whole bunch of agility, range, and magic XP. The real reward, by a long shot, though, is the Herblore XP. We had 15 points, and then we get to use 9 of them. So the other 6 need to not be used. Just to be more accurate with how much XP we're supposed to be getting. Lamps and 25 times level times point, etc., etc. So, get rid of the medium and large lamp. Use the huge and small lamp. Something like that. Well, that's actually exactly right. If we destroy the other lamps first, we can get in one nice big clump of XP, so that's also nice. Herblore XP. We get almost 27,000. Fantastic. This is really, really good. And we also need to go do other training. We'll go do that now. 81 prayer. Well, that is nothing whatsoever. There's more prayer points, though. I'll take it. Still doing the Jade Vine. Sometimes. There is 72 farming. And that gets us Calquat trees, which just recently became protectable, but we're not going to do that. Also, we would need to get a seed for that. And that is not something we're currently working on. Anyways, levels. Here is 91 ranged. We are killing a lot of dragons. And that is nothing at all, but just stronger. And lastly, 82 prayer. That's also 120 combat. That's pretty neat. Getting pretty strong here. Kinda. That is the end of our prayer journey, as we're going to unlock Leech melee strength when that is a thing. And future prayer training, we can do a little bit better than green dragons. More options in the future. And the next milestone goals are significantly higher levels. So we're not going to get into that right now. We have many other things we need to deal with. That's for sure. Oh yeah. Speaking of many things to deal with, we have a lot of stuff to get through in terms of updates today. Or this episode, or whatever. On September 30th, 2008, Evil Dave's Evil Post Bag. Featuring Evil Dave, as you might expect, of his evil, very much in quotes, plans. Also, Banker, KGP Agent, and Juna. Also, in another news post, reminders on dangerous clan wars, supplies being lootable, but affecting the trade restrictions and yada yada. But also that there's no gravestones in there, so you will lose your things. It's a dangerous place, which is not going to have any problems in the future. Also, trade margins have been increased, which will help you pick up more of your loot in dangerous clan wars, I guess. But only runes and food and stuff, but whatever. Per 15 minutes, you start with a 5,000 GP limitation. Goes up to 10,000 if you finished all the free-to-play quests. And even more money can be transferred for every 10 additional quest points you have. Up to a whopping 60,000 at 270 quest points. Which is technically more than's currently available, but we're getting there. Speaking of money, we got 675,000 coins from all the alks and coin drops from all the heaps and heaps of green dragons. So that's a decent chunk. Grab that out here. Eventually we'll have the coin pouch and we'll need to worry about this. Also save us an inventory space, but that's for later. Right now we have 2.3 million coins, which is not bad. Although we are going to have to spend some of that repairing the crystal bow here soon. Anyways, on October 1st, 2008, behind the scenes, we got the Halloween quest and event and PvP worlds. There's also a slight change to the update cadence. It's going to be every month with a headline update, then 1 or 2 secondary updates, depending on how many weeks there are. It's an idea. Larger updates can be more interesting, but still plenty of smaller things and fixes and stuff. Not like later. Also, the behind-the-scenes future updates area, showing first sneak peeks at stuff like new minigames, stealing creation, and mobilizing armies. Things in the future. On October 13th, 2008, the RuneScape prepaid cards are now available in Target in the United States only. You get your 30-day and 90-day cards. Just enter the code on the back and you're good. Well, you will be, but future problems. At any rate, on October 15th, 2008, got some login improvements. All of it is now in-game, instead of having to go through multiple web pages to choose members and free-to-play and high detail, low detail, which world. Just all in a nice, convenient in-game system. Also has automatic world selection, favorite worlds, all the detail selections, and safe mode is now available just in the game too. So it all just works. Combat level now ignores summoning if you don't have a familiar out, or a pouch, or have recently dropped a pouch. So if you're 55 combat with a few summoning levels, your combat level might now be 50 plus 5, or if you're totally maxed, it'd be like 126 plus 12. Mostly to do with PvP situations, which is something that's going to be happening right now. Yeah. Helps you to be able to train summoning and be able to be in more fair fights when you can't actually use summoning. Also, for varieties of things here, minimap, you get purple dots for people in your clan chat. So now you just have just so many different colors of dots. You got clan chat, friends, you got team capes. It's very colorful. Bogrog can now convert summoning scrolls, which we might be able to make use of. Probably going to look into that. Instead of having to alk every single pouch, if we can get a decent return on our investment making the scrolls, that'd be okay. Because we really can't go there for every single pouch. It's too far away. Anyways, that's a thing to consider in a little bit here. The Beacon Network now remembers logs that were in there, potentially just before the quest, where the beacons were activated to alert for the attack on Varrock. So now your logs will still be there, which is nice. Your reward gloves from Fist of Guthix can now pick up nettles, and the swordfish gloves function in the Piscatoris fishing colony, because apparently they weren't. You can request assistance to craft feathered headdresses, and the corporeal beast now has a stomp attack, so don't stand underneath the giant beast. Getting back to the whole combat level changes and all sorts of stuff for PvP, that is because PvP worlds are now a thing. You need at least 20 combat, log into a world where it's PvP most places, which is pretty wild. Fight people in a level range based on up and down by 10% plus 5 of your level. You got safe areas where you can't fight. You got regular sculling and teleport block options. You'll drop some of your items, but there's a whole system with that. But if you want to get any drops whatsoever, you need to risk some. 25,000 in free-to-play worlds, 75,000 in members worlds. And the longer you have your risk and stay out of the safe zones, the better your loot will be. Also, if you hang out in hot zones, it goes up even faster. And more than the minimum risk doesn't do anything for you. Once you've got all your potential ready to go, and you heal somebody, you get some loot, which is a combination of things they had and a whole new drop table with a variety of different things. If they didn't have enough loot to be worth giving you all your potential, it will carry over to future kills, so that helps. And also, you dying also increases your loot too, from the next time you actually win. Which is really something. The actual loot dropped is a bit questionable though. Along with just regular supplies and such, it also spawns out of nowhere. Things like the Dragonfire Shield, Dragon Full Helm, Abyssal Whip, and Barrow's Gear, which tanks the prices of some things pretty substantially. Kind of a mess. Kind of a problem. But it's all slightly random based on the potential and the loot and the amounts. Whether or not this is super printing money is supposed to not, because balancing or whatever, but people just abusing the system, hanging out with their not really much risk at all, wait until they have full potential and trading kills and etc. The most interesting things, though, are the new items that are available. Brawling Gloves grant you bonus experience when training skills, possibly in the wilderness still, depends on the area. Brawling Gloves, more XP. There's also new gear in the form of Corrupt Dragon equipment that's available for free-to-play. All of this new gear and the Brawling Gloves degrade and then disintegrate to nothing after a certain amount of time, and XP and whatever. So the new Corrupt Dragon is obviously much stronger than anything in free-to-play, but it also disappears in like half an hour, so expensive and strong. For members, you get the Corrupt and Regular, which is the Corrupt is lower requirements, the Regular is higher requirements, better stats and everything. New armor sets and weapons for the Sadius, Vesta, Morgan, and Zuriel sets. 2 melee, a range and magic, got thrown axes and new magic spell, and all pretty wild. And all very, very strong. But it all degrades to dust in 15 minutes to an hour or something. Also depends on how long you have it out and all kinds of changes throughout the years and where they come from and what do you get. Because there are no PvP worlds anymore. There's barely PvP, honestly. But yeah, lots of new stuff for PvP people. Not something we're worried about whatsoever. Continuing on October 18th, 2008, having some connectivity issues with the new prepaid card systems. So those aren't currently working. And they won't work until October 22nd, 2008, when the problems are fixed. Whether or not it was just a whole bunch of people trying to enter the codes all at the same time or just wasn't working, now it's working again. So there you go. On October 28th, 2008, you get more sound effects added and changed. Lots of them to do with the skill cape emotes, which is fun. Human animations, like players, essentially, changed to avoid having it feel like you were gliding across places and clipping into things. Just continuing graphics changes for the whole RuneScape HD business. There's now a right-click dismiss familiar option, which would have been very helpful in the summer quests, where you had to dismiss the familiar. Just had to click it and then wait on the confirmation screen to yes, dismissed. So, that's still fine. Also got a larger fair ring click box, so you can click on more than just the tiny little mushrooms. Automatic compost bin filling with whatever you put into it. So, mostly pineapples. Make super compost. A whole bunch of stuff to do with brewing, which is not the most popular cooking activity. The brewers will offer to fill all of your pots with yeast instead of having to go through an entire dialogue for each and every one. Automatically drain out the final brews if you have enough glasses. There's also a water source at the Port Phasmatis brewery, so that helps. You have to lug buckets of water from who knows where. Bounty Hunter craters have been changed to use the new summoning level independent combat levels, since you can't use summon in there. There's new, better Grand Exchange searches for poisoned items and addy items. Quick Chat has a predictive search, and there's some kind of rumbling north of the Baxtorian waterfall. That's more of a hint at a future thing than an actual update, though. For actual updates, we're going to be headed to Draenor for the Halloween event. Decorations up in Draenor, Remington, and Port Sarim, where you do some trick-or-treating. Of course, to do trick-or-treating, you need to wear a costume. Can get either the previous event costumes or a variety of other things. In total, you run around and trick-or-treat the various NPCs here. If they ask you for a trick, you need to use the new trick emote. This crier is just determined to stand in our way here, my goodness. The new trick emote. If you don't have it, you'll just say boo, and they won't be too impressed. But if you can make some bats just pop out of nowhere, that's a pretty good trick. And you will get your candy. Once you've done enough trick-or-treating, you go back and get your rewards. Specifically, you get to keep the trick emote, of course. And also, a new warlock slash witch outfit, which looks very spooky. And it's also got a cape, which looks nice. Very fun. The wise old man is not having so much fun, though, because he is not interested in your trick-or-treating antics. So, that's okay. Also, if you die, you'll get sent away by the Reaper. Very appropriate for Halloween and all that. And if you have the female outfit, you get the witch outfit instead of warlock. If you switch, it switches. So, basically 2 outfits, depending on what you're doing. Well, that's not the only thing Halloween related here. We get the next quest. It is Swept Away. No requirements. We'll require a bowl, which we'll get later. Anyways, just over here, talking to Maggie at her caravan, which makes a little bit of sense based on how often this quest moved through the years. It started south of Falador for 2 weeks here, available to free-to-play players. And then it moves to the Legends Guild after that. Then in 2010, it moves down near the bridge to Wizard's Tower. And then in 2013, it shows up here. Moving a caravan around actually makes a little bit of sense. But just various updates and changes. We're where we need to be now for Swept Away. And talk to Maggie here. traveling boxes. I got undead oxen. Wild. Welcome, traveler. What can I do for you this fine day, cha? Ooh, something smells interesting. Bubbling pot. Something smells rather interesting around here. Cha, that would be the cauldron, that would. I'm brewing up a mean batch of the good stuff, don't you know? What's that, then? Oh, it'll be the most top-notch, bee's knees, sack-off, knockin' premium batch brew you ever did see. But such an extraordinary brew isn't easy to make, don't you know? What it really needs is some sparkle, some pizzazz. Some of that old razzle-dazzle. Razzle-dazzle? Classic, old-school enchantment. That's what I'm talking about, cha. Without a bit of witchly charm, this slop will be about as useful as an axe made out of toadstools. One thing is, old babe over there has the sniffles, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to finish it off. I don't want to leave her alone in this condition. Is there any way I could help? Swept away. Excellent. Why yes, come to think of it, there is something you could do, cha. Really, the only thing left to finish off this old breweroni is to give it a stir with an enchanted broomstick. Adds a bit of flavor and spark, don't you know? So it happens, I have a broom right here. Well, what's the problem then? Well, the broom hasn't been properly enchanted, that's what. Good stuff like this will only come out when there are several witches involved. Hetty, Betty, and Aggie are the perfect ladies for the job. We've worked together before, and if you can get them to work their magic on this old broom of mine, we'll have a cauldron full of something quite spectacular when all's said and done. If I gave you my broom, could you take it to Hetty in Remington, Betty in Port Sarum, and Aggie in Draenor, and ask each of them to enchant it for me? In return, I'd be more than willing to share the good stuff all around. Oh, sure. But what actually are you brewing? Didn't I tell you? I'm only brewing the best of the most spectacular of brewifications, cha. But what does it do? Do? You blazes, man. There's not time in the day to describe the glory of the good stuff. So are you in or not? Can I count on you to get my broom enchanted so we can finish this thing off? Sure. I can do that for you. Excellent. Here's my broom then, cha. Hurry back once that's enchanted, won't you? Of course. Talk to the other witches nearby. There's got a quest area item icon, which is not actually accurate. Let's get into the village here. There's barricades and stuff here. That is kind of here. We don't really need that. We can turn that off. And view active. Don't need that. Technically, a free-to-play quest now again. Anyways, let's talk to Aggie. What can I help you with? Talking about swept away. Can we talk about brooms? Of course. What can I do for you? Maggie has asked me to help enchant her broom. She needs it to finish a potion that she's brewing. I was wondering if you could help me out. Of course. Maggie is an old friend. We go back quite a way. Now, in order to enchant the broom, we'll need a bit of space and privacy. There's a little clearing us witches sometimes use. Would you like me to teleport you there so we can get started? Sure. Yes, I'm ready to go now. Okay, hold on to your hat. And we are teleported to a magical clearing. Neat. Whoa! Where are we and what are we doing here? Oh, this is just a little place that some of us witches use on occasion. It's rather convenient for the occasional ritual or spell. Not only is it infused with a bit of magical pizzazz, but it's out of the way enough that we don't get a lot of unnecessary interruptions. Alright. Which leaves the question of what we're doing here. You want that broom of yours enchanted, right? Right. Well, the best way to enchant that hunk of dead wood is to harness the power latent in this magical symbol here. You see a pattern of 16 lines drawn out of sand on the ground? Yes. How could I miss it? In order to enchant the broom, you need to sweep away 4 of those lines, such that you leave only 4 small triangles on the ground, and nothing else. If you run into any trouble, let me know, and I'll reconfigure the original pattern for you. I can also teleport you back to Draenor when you're ready to leave. Okay, thanks. Give it a try. 'Tis a puzzle quest. Here we are. And so, we've got various triangles and such. You need to sweep things away in order to make it only 4 triangles. Anything else, like a triangle in the middle of a triangle, also counts as a triangle. Just need to sweep specific lines here. Specific number of lines to sweep. Specific number of things that remain. Gets the job done. Magicalness on the broom. Whoa, I felt that down to my toes. You did it! The enchantment for the sand pattern has infused Maggie's broom. There's nothing more to do here now. Come have a chat when you're ready and I'll take you back to Draenor with me. Alright. 4 triangles! Woo! That was impressive. Yes, there's a lot of power in these types of magical symbols. And should be good. Let's head back to Draenor. Sure thing. Just hold on to your hat and you'll be back in Draenor before you can wiggle your nose. And away we go. Simple and effective. Continuing on to Port Sarum now. Trying to at least somewhat go the correct directions with houses and stuff in the way. Definitely still a lot more walls up in various places. Walking around, making it where we're going. Next stop, Port Sarum. Just gonna run past here. This would be a great time to have the lumberage ring for the cabbage port. That would get us here quick. At any rate, let us open the door here and talk with Betty. Through the wall. Welcome to my magic emporium. Talking about swept away. I was wondering if you could help me out with an enchantment. I suppose that depends on the sort of enchantment you're looking for. Well, Maggie needs her broom enchanted so she can finish the stuff she's brewing in her cauldron. Ah, I see. She's brewing again, is she? Well, I'd be happy to help. Maggie always comes up with the most amazing brews. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, Maggie always likes things on the spicy side, so what I really need for this sort of enchantment is my wand. I keep it down in the cellar in a locked chest. If you could retrieve the wand and bring it to me, I'd be happy to enchant Maggie's broom for you. There's just one little problem. What's that? You see, my chest is locked by highly magical means. I'd explain it to you in detail, but I haven't the time. You'll find my apprentice, Lottie, downstairs. Just pop down the trapdoor over there and tell her I sent you. She'll be all too happy to explain everything. Okay, thanks. Down the trapdoor. Also, you have a mugger in your store. Get rid of that. And now, we're downstairs. Hey, Lottie. So what do you want, then? I need to retrieve Betty's wand. Betty sent me down here to fetch her wand. She said there might be a small complication. I'll say there are complications. Betty is a penchant for intricacy. You're not going to just be able to get the wand until you get that chest open. That sounds simple enough. What's so complicated about opening a little chest? Well, the chest in which Betty stores her wand is magically sealed. I won't confuse with the details right now, but here's the deal. The chest is simply not going to open until order has been restored to Betty's menagerie. What do you mean? What menagerie? Well, if you have a look around, you'll see there are 6 separate chambers, each of which is designed to house a little critter. Each creature has an enclosure that has been made especially for it, but at the moment several of them are out of place. So what you're saying is that we need to put each creature in the proper enclosure in order to open the chest. Exactly. Now I should warn you, these are very sensitive creatures, and they really don't like each other. What does that have to do with anything? 2 things. First, you can't carry more than 1 creature at a time. Second, you can't carry a creature through the door of a chamber which contains another creature. You'll have to move the creatures one by one. Use the holding pen in this room to help shift them all into the right position. One more thing I should mention. You shouldn't have to move the bat and the snail at all. They're already exactly where they need to be. Now if you have any questions or want me to put the creatures back to the arrangement they're in now, just let me know. Here's a magic slate. It always shows an overview of exactly who is where. You can use it for reference if you like. It's not necessary, but I find it helpful. Okay, thanks. View, magic slate. Got the snail in the snail pen, the bat in the bat pen, blackbird in the blackbird pen. Got the lizard in the rat pen, the spider in the lizard pen, and the rat in the spider pen. Well, that's obviously not correct, is it? We have the holding pen here. Essentially, it is a sliding puzzle where you have to manually move each piece, which is pretty wild. So we got the rat, spider, lizard. That'll work. And move creature, blackbird pen. That's the only move we can make right now. We're also kind of limited by the amount of moves that are available. But it works. The lizard's over there. Rat's over here. Spider's over there. They're moving stuff around. Also just tells you if they are happy in the pens. Which they aren't, unless it's their pen. We have a spider. Spider in the spider pen. They're extremely happy about that. Rat. Pen. Lizard. Lizard pen. Very happy. And put the rat where the rat needs to be. There you go. And lastly, go grab the blackbird. Put the blackbird back in the blackbird pen. It looks like everyone's in the correct place now. Let's see if I can open that chest. Chest. Open. Good stuff. Open it up. Animation a little bit desynced there, but that's fine. And search it. And find Betty's wand. There you go. Simple as that. Also leave the slate, because it magically disappeared. That's fine. On to the Magic Emporium. Swept away. Got your wand for you. Excellent. Let me just enchant that broom for you then. More magicalness on the broom. There you go. I'm sure that's just the spice that Maggie's looking for. Many thanks. Alright. And lastly, we need to head to Remington. We can do that. Just another bit of a run here. All these areas part of the Halloween event and the quest. Not quite the same experience without all the decorations everywhere, but we do what we can. We got what we can do. Alright, here's Hetty. The door and talk to Hetty. Hello there. Maggie sent me to ask your help in enchanting this broom. Ah, brewing up a cauldron full of her infamous good stuff, is she? Well, of course I'll help. I think this calls for one of my specialties. My famous theurgical broom ointment. Now I can provide you with the ointment. All you need to do is apply the ointment to the broom. Excellent. But first I'll need a newt. A newt. Yes, a newt. Now if you just pop down my cellar through the trapdoor out back, I've just had a recent delivery of newts and toads. The delivery ghoul is still here. I can't think what could be taking him so long. In any case, once the crates are unloaded, just bring me a newt from the newt crate, and I'll set you up with some ointment. Okay, will do. Got a whole crate of newts. Wild stuff out here. Of course, it's not going to be that easy. Head down the trap door. We got the crates. And Gus, the delivery ghoul. Hello, are you the delivery, ghoul? Hey, you told me that you could deliver me a newt. Could give me a newt for her potion. Yes, but I'd prefer if you call me Gus. I make deliveries for Numinous Witchery Supplies Ltd. If it's a newt you're after, you can have one from one of the crates, but there's a problem. What kind of problem? A newty-toady sort of problem, I'm afraid. You see, the labels on the crates have somehow got mixed up. One of these crates contains just newts, one contains just toads, one contains a mixture of newts and toads. Problem is, I've put the wrong label on all three crates. Can't remember which crate contains newts, toads, or both newts and toads. Oh dear, that certainly sounds like quite a problem. And also a puzzle. Indeed. Please don't tell Miss Hetty or I'll be tomorrow's soup. The other problem is that I can't look in the crates myself. You see, I have a terrible fear of newts. We work out which box contains toads, which one contains newts, and which one has both. If you could sort out the labels, I'd be happy to give you a newt to take to Miss Hetty. Is that a deal? Sure. I can do that. It's a deal. Excellent, I'm so relieved. So what do you need to do to sort out these crates then? Well, here's the problem. We need to figure out what is in each crate. All we know is I put the wrong label on each and every crate. So not one crate has the correct label on it. That sounds easy enough. Just have a look in each crate and... No, no, no. You can't do that. We can't disturb them. Don't you know anything about magical frogs and newts? Also, we cannot waste too much stock. Miss Hetty will find out if we start taking newts and frogs out of crates as we please. So what do you suggest? When I was cramming for my crate delivery certification exam, I remember reading about situations like these. First, you can figure out exactly what's in all 3 crates by only taking out one item from one crate. Problem is, I can't remember how to figure it out. Pretty sure the key is in what I said earlier, that each and every crate has a wrong label on it. Here's 3 labels you can paste on the crates. If you lose your labels or want me to put things back the way they were, just let me know. Thanks, Gus. The whole resetting the puzzle system, definitely a thing. Each and every crate is completely wrong, which is also interesting that they know that for sure. It's a puzzle. Wrongly labeled crate of newts and toads. Yuck, a toad! So, it's not newts and toads, it's toads. Place a label on the crate. If this is the toad's crate, this is not the toad's crate. That could be either. But if this is the toad's crate, this makes this not the toad's crate, and not the newt's crate. So it's the newts and toads crate. And then the toad's crate is the newt's crate. There you go. Hurrah! I do believe you've labeled the crates correctly. Miss Hetty will be so pleased. Now, you need a newt, right? Feel free to take one of the newts from the newts only crate. The other ones aren't appropriate for ointments and potions. Newt's crate. Extract a newt. 1 wiggly magical newt. Good stuff. And back to our witchy friend, Hetty. Have you managed to get that newt yet? Yes, it's right here. Excellent. I'll just take it and add a little newt slime to the ointment. That should do. Just rub this ointment on the broom. That should suit Maggie's purposes. Wonderful. Thanks. Broom ointment on the broomstick. Smear the broom ointment onto Maggie's broom and feel it tingle as the enchantment permeates the wood. Good stuff. I just need to head back to Maggie. Which is not too bad. House. Drainer teleport with the glory. And Maggie's over here now. Alright, here we go. Welcome, traveler. Welcome to this fine day, Cha. I have good news for you. Cha, and how? What's that crackle in the air, that smile on your face, then? I visited Betty in Port Sarum, Hetty in Remington, and Aggie in Drainer. They've all enchanted the broomstick for us. Ah, you say? Brilliant. Oh, I can't tell you how grateful I am. You're in for a treat, you are. If you just do one more little thing for me. Well, what's that, then? To finish the good stuff off, we just need to give it a good old stir with the broomstick here. It'll come out all the better if you do it, since you're the one who had it enchanted. Would you stir the good stuff in the cauldron for me? Pretty pleased with sweeties on top? Of course I would. Brill. Just a quick stir or two with the broom should be all it needs. Sounds easy enough. Stir the pot. Squish, squish, squish. There, that should do it. Brilliant. I'm telling you, find it. I stirred the cauldron for you. That stuff has a kick to it. I should think so, Cha. With all that added spice, that ought to be one spicy goulash. Would you like to try some? Wait, what? Goulash? I thought you were brewing some amazingly magical witchly potion. Well, what witch doesn't love goulash, I ask you? What could be more witchly than a big old cauldron full of spicy yumminess? Well, but what about all the effort I put to enchant that broom? Cha! Well, you don't think spicing something this good is easy, do you? Look, I'm so grateful for your help. Why don't you help yourself to 10 bowlfuls? Just dip a bowl in the cauldron and help yourself. But hang on to your hat. The stuff's magic, after all. Not to blow my own horn, but just one bowl can improve almost any aspect of your life. Here's a bowl you can use. You can also keep my broom if you'd like. Now that we've used it to infuse the brew with some good old spice, it's not much use to me.
Can't do much but sweep with that at the moment, but there are other witches out there who could be happy to enchant it for you, if you're interested.
Quest complete. This gives 2 quest points. If you hadn't completed Witch's Potion / Sheep Shearer before they became mini quests, or 1 quest point if you did. Also get the 10 portions of XP giving goulash. I will take my XP goulash here. Fill a bowl from the cauldron. Drink the goulash. Of course, herbal XP. Just a regular lamp here for 10 times level. So 690 herbal XP. I'll take it. Which gives you a pleasant, warm feeling. You've rewarded 690 XP in Herblore. Let me do this 9 more times. If you want to put into lots of different skills, that would be an option. We just want Herbal XP, honestly. Upcoming situation, which might require vastly higher Herbler level. So, we'll do what we can here. That's also why all of our Penguin XP is going into Herblore too. If only we also could get... I mean, as it currently stands, we would have been getting a bunch of rune crafting XP from Tears of Gothics, but that also would have fixed that problem and also got it to Herblore levels. But anyways, we are doing what we can here. Drink 10 bowls of goulash after swept away. Oh, grabbed an essence simpling. No bare hand catching yet. Got it here. And we've taken all the goulash for a total of 6,900 XP. It's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. And now, post-quest content. And quite a bit of it, to be honest. We've got the broomstick. And we can make it do better. Maggie. More broom stuff. Do for you? I want to talk about rewards. What enchantments are available for this broom? Well, I'd recommend talking to the sorceress's apprentice, Ian Alcarid. She knows more than she lets on about teleportation. And for magic users, there are some witches that can give you a little boost to your magic experience. Mesa the Hag in Pondovnich can enchant your broom if you have level 33 magic. Nettie near the Slayer Tower can enchant your broom if you have magic level 53 or higher. Baba Yaga on Lunar Isle can enchant your broom if you have magic level 73 or higher. And Cardia in the Underground Pass might not talk to you. She might enchant your broom if you have a magic level of 93 or higher. Which can be boosted. So we can get all the XP. We will start by heading to the Sorceress's Garden area first. That's the first thing on the list here. To Alcarid we go. It's interesting the Glory Teleport goes to here now. Convenient for now, less convenient when I actually want to go to Alcarid, compared to being up at the palace. That's alright. Apprentice! Could you enchant this broom for me? Of course. I'll just cast this little spell on it, then you can teleport to the Sorceress's Garden. All you need to do is wield the broom and operate it. Excellent, many thanks. Yeah, it's just a teleport to Sorceress's Garden. Infinite number. Infinite teleports. Very cool. Not that we really need to go to Sorceress's Garden too much. It's an option, though. Also potential for herbs and things. A good teleport to here. Now we also have the teleports right here, so that's fine. Let's go and get our magic experience from all the various people. First one's down in Pondovnich, which we can accomplish by just taking a carpet down there. The carpets, more expensive than they're supposed to be. 500 instead of like 100 or whatever. They're also instant now, so that's alright. Bring it down to Pondovnich here. Gonna Slayer task from Simona? Probably not. Before we do more Slayer, we're really going to need to look into all of the different tasks that are available and don't exist yet and what they drop, and Slayer points are also a thing, and etc, etc. Mesa the Hag. You enchant this broom for me?
Ah, this is Maggie's broom, is it? Yes, I can enchant it for you. Just one moment. Magic. Receive 1,997 magic experience. Excellent, many thanks. The amount of experience and level requirements for these are also pretty wild. That was a level 1 requirement. So honestly, getting yourself no. That's a level 33 requirement. Level 1 is just the teleport. Yeah. Level 33, get yourself some 2,000 XP. That's something. Higher level ones give even higher amounts of experience, though. Those are the ones we are going for. We are going to need to get ourselves a magic boost, though. Because we do not have 93 magic. Only 89. If we had 90, it would be very simple. We would just go get a Wizard's Mind Bomb. Just straight to 93. That is one level too low currently. So we're going to go make a Magic Essence Potion from Fairy Tale Part 2. Deal with that later, though. Nettie! Enchant this broom for me. Oh, this must be Maggie's broom. I suppose I could enchant it, just this once, for old time's sake. Just one moment. Magic. 33 magic required. 7,139 magic experience. Excellent, many thanks. And the last two are on Lunar Isle and the middle of the underground pass. So, that's a bit of a trip, isn't it? We go. Rocking around in the chicken house. Hey, Baba Yaga. Talk about brooms. You know, just enchant this broom for me? Oh, this looks like Maggie's broom. Of course, I can enchant it for you. Just one moment. Magic. 73 required. 10,338 magic experience. Excellent. Many thanks. And now we get to go through the underground pass. Or I guess we could go from the elven side. That'd also be going through all the oven traps. Easier than going through the underground pass, though. This would be a great time to have a let you teleport crystal. Oh well. Definitely a bit of a trek to get in here. Get the witch's cat again to use it on the door. Busy with the other cat. Only for doing the... I guess if you had 93-ish magic and hadn't completed underground pass yet, technically you would do that. So they're busy playing with the cat. Here's another cat. Mysterious. Magic. Essence. Cardia. Enchant this broom for me. Magic. Another 14,979 magic XP. Brilliant stuff. Many thanks. She doesn't want to talk too much. I guess we're gonna just drop this other cat. Runs off and hides. Got many cats. Whatever. And that is not even the only thing added at the same time here. We've also got the next mini quest to do. And that is Purple Cat. Talk to Wendy, west of the Eternal Village Lodestone, / Falador, / maybe moves around. But you can talk to Wendy later for other things. Stowed away Gertrude's cat. We need a cat. Go get a cat and talk to Wendy. As you might expect, with the name of the mini quest being Purple Cat, there is a purple cat. Trogs, a feisty cat. There are cats we can that we can talk to this purple cat. Don't really need to though. Hey Wendy, how's it going? Oh, hello. Who are you? What are you doing? Look a little lost. She's an apprentice here. Doing her best. Have you seen that purple cat wandering around? Why, yes. I'm quite pleased, actually. That was an experiment of mine. You can make purple cats. Well, no, but I can make cats purple. Can you make anything else purple? No, I don't think so. Just cats. Wild. Hello. Who are you? Me, I'm Wendy. I'm learning the ways of witchcraft from Maggie here. She's very clever, you know, and very patient. What are you doing? I'm trying with Maggie, trying to learn the ways of witchcraft. And what are you learning at the moment? I'm learning all about, hold on, let me just think. Something really quite fascinating, I'm sure. Look, don't worry about it, really. Sorry, I can't quite recall at the moment, but I'm sure it will come back to me sooner or later. You look a little lost. It's funny, I get that a lot. I don't think I'm lost, not at the moment at least. Keeping track of where one isn't a problem, is it? I think it's more that I keep forgetting where I'm going. What do you mean? Well, it's just that there's so many interesting things to do and see, really. It's all well and good to make plans for myself, but I always seem to get distracted along the way. Distracted by what? Oh, you know. A pretty flower, a little impling flying by, a fluffy cat that looks like it needs a scratch under its chin. I see things like that, and my best laid plans just seem to fly right out of my head. I can see how they might. What about those purple cats? You can make purple cats? You can make cats purple. If I brought you a cat, could you make it purple? I should think so, but I'm all out of magic unguent. I'd need some more to complete the spell, but if you brought me some unguent and a cat, I can't see what could go wrong. Purple cat mini quest. Accept. So where can I get this unguent from? My friend Lottie should know. We started our training together. Last I heard, she was studying in Port Sarim as Betty's apprentice. Thanks. I'll keep that in mind. I already talked to Lottie earlier, during Swept Away. So we know exactly where we need to go. Also, they just told us where to go. Betty's. Go see their apprentice, down in the basement dungeon place. Don't worry about that too much. Just down there with all the animals that are kept in small cages. Anyways, I mean, to be fair, they're decent-sized cages. Well, for some of the animals, at least. How large of a space do you need for a rat? We also have a bird, so... Birds, bats downstairs, spiders. Lottie, how's it going? Do you know anything about magic unguent for turning cats purple? Oh, you must have been talking to Wendy. What a space cadet. She couldn't cast herself out of a paper bag. In any case, if it's the unguent you want, it's in the very same chest where you found Betty's wand. Oh good, I'll just get it out and hold it right there. You're not going to be able to open that chest till you sort out the animals again. What? I've already put everything where they belong. Yes, but Betty is a bit paranoid about the security of her precious possessions. After you so easily got into her chest, she decided to make it a bit more difficult to unlock. Which means that if you want that unguent, you have to put these animals back again. And this time, you'll have to move every single animal at least once. New puzzle. Can we get the... Yep, magic slate. Very good. Magic slate. There you go. We got the bat is in the bat pen. The spider is in the snail pen. The snail's in the spider pen. The rat's in the lizard pen. The lizard is in the rat pen, and the bird is in the bird pen. Again. Start off, we only have one option. So, move the bird. And now, we need to actually think a bit more. This is the slightly more difficult version of the quest puzzle. We just need to get into the state that the other puzzle was in. Then we're pretty much good to go. We have the bat here, and then the snail in some way. Snail here. Bat here. Move stuff around. If we can get... just rotate things. How do you get that to there? We need the bat with the snail here. The spider's in the way. Let's start moving stuff around. It's kind of backwards currently. There's only ever so many options for order to put things in. So we can make it work. Not a huge number of possibilities. That's okay. Okay. The snail there. Need to rotate things around here. Some description. There's ways. Got empty space there. Empty space here. Back here. Move the stuff. And then move around some more. The snail, already in the snail pen, but that's not actually complete, of course. Rotations. Rotating everything around. And it should all work out. Get things all mixed up back and forth. Worst case scenario, you can just reset the puzzle. That's fine too. Start here. There we go. Bring the bat back. And then we have lizard, spider, and rats there. So move them back around that way to this way. More or less. Still, again, another puzzle here. For purple cats. Wild stuff. There's a spider. There's the lizard. Here's the rat. And once we move these ones back to where they need to be, get the snail in the snail pen, the bat in the bat pen, we're pretty much back to what we started with during the quest. Just a little bit more work. That's okay. Then rotate these ones around. Yeah, pretty much good to go. Need to get the spider in the spider pen. And the lizard in the lizard pen. Working good. A little bit more work than just a regular sliding puzzle because of the running time. Gets the job done though. Gets the job done. Could definitely make it even more complicated with a larger grid. But honestly, as a sliding puzzle, it's mostly the same solution no matter how large it is. It would just take more time. Looks like everyone's in their correct places now. I'm saying open that chest. But he just keeps trying to have some security here. We just keep on opening the secret chest. There you go. And search it. This is a chest. Found some magical ungent. And it's purple and stripy. Which makes sense. To make some purple stuff. It's also pungent. All sorts of things. All sorts of stuff. And back to Wendy. Don't know if she's tried to make other things purple, but she can make cats purple, so well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, Wendy. Hey. Oh, hello. I have some magical ungent for you. Oh, thank you so much. That's exactly what I need for my cat enhancements. Enchantments. If you ever want a cat turning purple, just bring her to me. Mini quest completed. Ability to permanently dye cats purple. Let's become Hellcats. That's the whole thing. Could you make this cat purple for me? I can, but I should warn you. I can make cats purple, but I don't know how to change them back. It's a permanent change, is that okay? Yes, please make my cat permanently purple. Here you go. Such a beautiful color. Thank you. And now, we have a purple kitten. Yay. You're stuck in the grass. Yep, that is a purple cat, for sure. We needed a cat to be able to start it, apparently. If we could have avoided it, we would have avoided it. So now we need to release the cat again. Go away, purple cat. You're now purple forever. That's gonna help you a lot trying to survive. You're very, very not camouflaged or anything. Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyways, this would be the point where we would be done with all the updates and would be moving on to the next episode. Well, that's going to be a doozy and a half. So we are going to be cutting off the first bit where we go over the next updates by doing that right now instead. On October 30th, 2008, Players Gallery, Spooky Time. All sorts of Halloween-based and spooky things. Very fun. Also looking for festive art for the December one. Send it in now. Also, Postbag from the Hedge, 35. Instead of people dressing up as monsters and such for Halloween, we have the monsters and such dressing up as people to answer your questions. We got cockroaches, frogs, penguins, and fish. and then a message from the Grim Reaper. Wild stuff at the post bags. On November 3rd, 2008. Behind the scenes. Got the Stealing Creation minigame, the first Grandmaster quest, and the Thanksgiving event. Also in the future, a Phoenix, and mobilizing armies again. That's gonna be a whole thing. Anyways, on November 11th, 2008, website maintenance on the Grand Exchange page. That's fine. Can still get in and play the game. See all the new content here. Like the Halloween event being removed and swept away, now being members only and at the Legends Guild. So that's moved for the first time here. The regen bracelet was decreasing boosted health at the increased rate, which is not helpful, so that's been changed. The world map loads more correctly. You can now no longer do non-fishing activities on the fishing trawler, just leeching. Various hats that made you bald don't make you bald anymore. And lazy purple cats can now exercise to become purple wily cats again. Main update, though, is over in the wilderness. At least it was. Until 2011. Just south of Bounty Hunter. And the whole volcano business there in the craters. New bunch of guys. New safe zone for Stealing Creation. It's still dangerous to go there for a lot of reasons. Because you're still in the wilderness. So revenants can be wandering around just outside the area. So it's not a safe place to be. And you can't have anything when you're doing this, so death is very possible as you're running to it and depositing all your items, not having anything with you. Eventually, with the return of PvP in the wilderness, it was even more dangerous because people would try to kill you. So they moved various wilderness minigames into the Gamer's Grotto here. So just imagine this room right here, except it's out in the wilderness. Seems like a good idea. Not really. Stealing Creation. Join a team or do some clan events and get into a PvP activity, essentially. Although a lot of times people would not do PvP because it's much better and better rewards to just ignore that entire part. At any rate, you go into a large square arena with a bunch of smaller square spots all over it, where you need to gather various bits of sacred clay from the ground. Start by just picking some up, and then processing it into various tools and equipment, and summoning familiars, and scrolls, and walls, and all kinds of stuff. Using almost every skill. Gather from rocks and pools and hunter nodes and trees. Process it into use all your different smithing and crafting and rune crafting and summoning, construction to make stuff. And then deposit the stuff for points. More points is more rewards. And you can also steal from people, hide in clouds. You get your bases in the corner. It's a whole thing. And when you finish, you get rewards based on the amount of points you and your team got. Rewards for winning and everything. You take that over to the rewards guy, where you can get volatile tools, which turn into a random tool. Proto tools, which you can choose which it is. And various bits of armor and weapons. These are the only rewards. These ones down here don't exist yet. But exactly what they do is slightly different. Get your tools. They will give you bonus experience in the skill that they're for. If it turns into a pickaxe, you can get bonus experience in mining. Then you get 10 charges before they fall apart and you need to go get another one. Same idea with the armor. Time and charges based and everything. The tools give bonus experience. The armor is just basic level 40 armor for now. And that's pretty much it. Some XP. That's alright. In terms of efficiency, it was pretty decent, especially after a later update where you got even more experience from everything. But for now, it's just a thing, which we're probably not going to really worry about. Also because we can't have any items to go in, which is not great. Sacred clay. Statues like revenants. I'll relate to that too. You get some lore here if we talk to somebody. Get this mystic here. Or the head mystic. There we go. Welcome, my son. Praise the holy ones for bringing you here. The holy ones. The holy ones. They're most blessed of all the gods' creatures. Long ago they served their gods in glorious wars. Even now when their bodies are gone, they faithfully continue the fight. People today call them revenants. They may be found in a cave below the wilderness, which is actually everywhere in the wilderness right now. And who are you? A simple seeker after spiritual things. I see truths that others do not see. Alright. What things do you see? It cannot be explained to one who lacks the sight. I see the holy ones and they speak to me. I see the spiderweb connections between the worlds. Sometimes I see the gods themselves. Wild. So, what can we do here? Help gather sacred clay from the primordial realm. From the glory of the holy ones, I can teach you how. We do a full tutorial? Not right now. You get the things, you turn it into things. You specifically join clan chants that aren't doing PvP. You don't do it anymore because nobody plays mini games anymore. You don't do it because you don't want to get rid of all your things constantly. Something to consider in one of our times where we get rid of all of our things. There's a few other things that would technically be a good idea to get done at least one time in one of those opportunities before we get to a point where we aren't needing to get rid of our stuff again. We will worry about that later, though. I'm just going to stand here at Stealing Creation for a bit. Should be fine. And more updates. On November 13th, 2008. Players Gallery, with quite the variety of different art styles. Art types, art, all kind of things. Lots of stuff in the Players Galleries. Although unfortunately a lot of the actual art has been lost. If you go to the wiki pages and everything. That's alright. It's something. Some of them are still there. There might be more as we continue further in, or we'll save the pictures and stuff. Anyways, on November 19th, 2008, got another update over in the Fun Orb Fun Times. They're definitely doing more things than get posted on the RuneScape website, but some of the larger things do get shown off. This time, Zombie Dawn multiplayer. Get your hordes of zombies to try to herd humans into your portal to capture them, or turn them into zombies, capture them that way. Get points, unlock upgrades, try to get more people captured than your opponents, and all that. Very fun. On November 21st, 2008, submit your questions for a Q&A with the author of the RuneScape novel. 10 copies of the novel are being auctioned off for charity. And you can also get the RuneScape calendar for 2009 in the Jagex store. On November 25th, 2008, Stealing Creation rewards change are announced. There was a few problems at the start. There was some bugs due to
how it was turning in the points and being able to smuggle things and everything. So, things are being changed. Possibly controversially, deleting any points and rewards over a certain threshold in order to get rid of all the extra points that people didn't really earn. Not the most glamorous and good way of doing that. So just use up your extra pieces before they get deleted, I guess. No longer will get combat experience for the PvP in the minigame. Instead, you'll get the bonus experience when using the combat equipment in a similar way that tools do. Also boosting the amount of bonus experience you get from everything. So now it is double. And the charges are based on experience gained and everything. So effectively, if you can get your points in here, which is now using a slightly different system, instead of in-game points directly to reward points, it's converted based on scaling system to more synchronize the amounts of points you're supposed to get. Get your rewards, and then get double experience. So if you're saving a bunch of money or time, or if you just don't really like mining, go play some Stealing Creation, get the tools or the armor, and get more experience. Will depend very much on how much money and time and enjoyment you get from all the various skills. Yeah, that's not actually out yet. Just an announcement. That's alright. On November 26th, 2008, a Thanksgiving event. There's turkeys all over the place. You can kill them for raw meat and turkey drumsticks. And also, a new emote, which is always a fun time. Get your fantastic Give Thanks emote, where you turn into a turkey. Amazing. And do a little dance. You can also go hunt for disguised turkeys in a similar vein to the penguin hide-and-seek. Get a book with all the hints of where all the turkeys are at. And you can also get a cornucopia, which you can fill up with pieces of food for total healing of about a swordfish, and then eat it all at one time. So if you just shove in a whole bunch of turkey drumsticks, it'll heal slightly more. Not better than a shark or anything, though. Just an interesting little bonus thing. Missing minigames, possibly just the new ones, have been added to Quick Chat. The Chaos Portal in the Dagon High Caves now works with the Omni Talisman. Did work with the Omni Talisman staff and the Omni Tiara for going to the Chaos Altar, but not the talisman itself. That's been fixed. The Abyssal Parasite Familiar now correctly protects you from the prayer drain of going to the Abyss. And free-to-play players can reclaim the broom from talking to Wendy, getting teleported to Betty, and getting the broom back from her in the magical sand triangles area. And the main update. The biggest update. The largest quest. The first Grand Master. The next quest is While Guthix Sleeps. This is an absolute doozy. Gonna take a very long time, as the first Grandmaster quest is wont to do. We will see if we can even tackle this whole thing next time. Goodbye.